Have you ever noticed that your desires are vibrational frequencies that shape your reality every single moment? What if I told you that what you desire most, that goal you relentlessly pursue, could be precisely the invisible current limiting your spiritual evolution? This is the paradox almost no one understands, and I'm about to reveal it to you now. Before we continue, take a deep breath and allow yourself to question everything you've believed about manifestation and spirituality. If this resonates with you, leave a sign in the comments. Just one word that represents your biggest current desire. Quantum science is confirming what spiritual masters have known for millennia. Alain Aspect and his team, in revolutionary studies from 2022, definitively demonstrated quantum entanglement, proving that particles separated by astronomical distances remain instantaneously connected. This means that your thoughts and desires are not isolated events in your mind, but active components of a universal web of information that responds to the frequency you emit. In parallel, the HeartMath Institute, through the work of Rollin McCraty, has documented how our emotional states generate measurable electromagnetic fields that extend meters beyond the physical body, literally influencing the environment and people around us. When you intensely desire something, you are emitting a specific frequency that interacts with the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Imagine your consciousness as a vast, infinite ocean, calm and deep in its purest essence. Every desire you nurture is like a wave on the surface of that ocean. Some waves flow naturally with the universal current, gently carrying you towards broader horizons. Others, born from lack and attachment, become turbulent storms that pull you into the depths of suffering. This ocean metaphor will be our compass on this journey of discovery. Hold on to this image, for it will reveal profound secrets about your true nature. The trap of incessant seeking that imprisons your soul. Do you know that feeling of finally achieving something you've desired for a long time, and after a brief euphoria, feeling an even greater emptiness? Think about that time you worked exhaustively to buy something special, perhaps a new car, a tech gadget, or even a unique experience. How long did the happiness last? Days? Weeks? And then what happened? A new desire emerged, even more intense, promising that this time it would be different, that this time the satisfaction would be permanent. Have you ever wondered why this cycle never ends? The truth is, when you operate on the frequency of lack, of "I need this to be happy," you are emitting a vibration that tells the universe, "I don't have, I am not enough." And the universe, in its perfect quantum neutrality, responds precisely to that frequency, bringing more experiences of not having, of not being enough. It's like tuning into a radio station that only plays sad songs and expecting to hear a celebration. The frequency determines the experience always. Breathe deeply now. Feel the air entering your lungs, filling every cell with pure possibility. Notice how at this very moment, with nothing changing externally, you can access a sense of completeness simply by directing your attention to the miracle of being alive. This is the frequency of wholeness, always available, always present, just waiting for you to tune into it. When you understand that you are like the deep ocean, not just the agitated waves on the surface, something magical happens. You realize that the desperate search for external objects and experiences was just a misguided attempt to find what already exists within you. The desire itself is not the problem. The problem is the frequency of need, of attachment, of "my life will only be complete when." This frequency creates an invisible prison that limits your spiritual expansion, keeping you trapped in an infinite loop of seeking outside what can only be found within. If this is making sense to you, pause for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Feel the constant pulse, that rhythm that never stops, that never needs your permission or control to continue. This is the power you possess, functioning perfectly, effortlessly. Now imagine applying that same natural trust to your desires, like this video, if you are ready for this transformation. The invisible weight of control that blocks your manifestation. How many times have you tried to force a specific outcome in your life? That promotion at work you visualized in minute detail, the perfect relationship you mentally designed with surgical precision, the dream business that had to happen exactly as you planned. And when things took a different turn, even if potentially better, you resisted, fought, suffered. Why do we do this to ourselves? Attachment to control is one of the densest frequencies that exist. It's like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on and the accelerator floored at the same time. You expend tremendous energy, make a lot of noise, produce a lot of smoke, but you don't go anywhere. Or worse, when you finally move, it's in jerks, uncontrolled and dangerous. The universe operates at a level of infinite intelligence that your conscious mind, however brilliant, cannot even begin to fully comprehend. Think about how your body regulates millions of processes simultaneously without your conscious control. Your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your cells regenerate. Your neurons fire complex synapses creating thoughts and emotions. You don't need to manage any of this, and yet it functions with mathematical perfection. Now imagine if you tried to consciously control every heartbeat, every breath, every cell division. You would collapse in seconds. This is exactly what happens when you try to micromanage how your desires should manifest. The frequency of control comes from fear. Fear that if you don't force it, nothing will happen. Fear that the universe doesn't know what's best for you. Fear of trusting. But let me share a secret that quantum physics confirms. At the quantum level, the observer affects the observed, but not through control, but through consciousness. When you observe with attachment and a need for control, you collapse the field of infinite possibilities into a single limited timeline. When you observe with open curiosity and trust, you allow the best possibility, one that your limited mind couldn't even imagine, to manifest. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself letting go of the reins. Visualize yourself handing your deepest desires into the hands of the universe, like someone planting a seed in fertile soil and trusting that it knows exactly how to become a tree. Feel the relief that comes with this surrender. Notice how your shoulders relax, how your breathing deepens, how an inexplicable peace takes over your being. This is the frequency of trust, infinitely more powerful than control. Returning to our ocean metaphor, control is like trying to determine the direction of each individual wave. It's exhausting, impossible, and completely unnecessary. When you recognize yourself as the entire ocean, you realize that the waves are just temporary expressions of your vastness, and that trying to control them is as absurd as the ocean trying to control itself. You are already creative power in action. Subscribe to the channel if you are ready to let go of control and trust the flow. The illusion of scarcity that sabotages your natural abundance. Have you ever noticed how the entire society seems to operate on the frequency of scarcity? There isn't enough for everyone. You need to compete, fight, secure yours before it runs out. This programming is so ingrained that even people with abundant resources live in fear of losing, of not having enough, of falling behind. But what if I told you that scarcity is just a frequency, a radio station you can choose to turn off? At the quantum level, we live in a universe of infinite possibilities. At every moment, trillions of potential realities exist simultaneously, waiting for your consciousness to choose which one to experience. When you vibrate on the frequency of scarcity, you are literally tuning into only the realities where scarcity exists. It's like having access to all the TV channels in the world, but insisting on watching only the one that shows bad news 24 hours a day. Think about how nature operates. A single tree produces thousands of seeds, knowing that only a few will germinate. The sun radiates light and heat infinitely, without worrying about running out of energy. The ocean doesn't economize its waves, afraid they will run out. Abundance is the natural language of the universe. Scarcity is a human invention, a distorted frequency created by the ego that sees itself as separate from the infinite source. When you desire something from the frequency of scarcity, you are essentially saying, I don't have, and I need to get it. This vibration creates a magnetic field that repels exactly what you wish to attract. This is why people desperate for love push away potential partners, why desperation for money seems to create more bills to pay, why the obsessive need for health can manifest more symptoms. The frequency of need is repulsive in the literal sense of physics. It pushes things away. Now take a deep breath and feel the abundance that already exists in your life at this moment. The air you breathe is free and infinite. The blood flowing in your veins does its work without charging anything. Your eyes process millions of visual information every second without you having to pay for it. You are literally sailing in a sea of abundance, but your conditioned mind insists on focusing on the few points where it perceives lack. It's like being at a lavish banquet and complaining that a specific dish is missing. The frequency of abundance is not about pretending you have what you don't have. It's about deeply recognizing what you already are. You are an expression of the infinite universe, made of the same energy that composes the stars, the planets, everything that exists. How could you be scarce if you are made of infinity? How could something be missing if you are the creative source itself in human form? When you truly understand this, not intellectually but viscerally, your frequency automatically changes. Comment abundance if you are feeling this shift happening now. The deception of linear time that delays your manifestations. How long do you think it takes for a desire to manifest? Days, months, years? What if time was just another illusion that is sabotaging your ability to create the reality you desire? Quantum physics has already demonstrated that time is not linear as we perceive it. At the quantum level, past, present, and future coexist simultaneously. Einstein called this the block universe, where all moments exist eternally in the now. When you desire something and immediately think this will take a long time, you are creating a vibrational instruction that the universe faithfully follows. You are literally programming delay into the manifestation. It's like ordering a pizza and telling the delivery person, "Take as long as you want, I'm not in a hurry," and then getting frustrated because the pizza doesn't arrive quickly. The universe always responds to your dominant frequency, not your superficial desires. Think about how many times incredible things have happened instantly in your life. That casual encounter that changed everything. That idea that came out of nowhere and solved a complex problem. That opportunity that appeared at the perfect moment. These events did not respect linear time. They simply happened when you were on the right frequency. Miracles don't take time, they take alignment. The obsession with deadlines and schedules is another form of disguised control. When you say, "I need to manifest this by such and such a date," you are again trying to force the universe to operate according to your mental limitations. But the universe has no clock, doesn't consult a calendar, doesn't care if it's Monday or Friday, January or December. The universe responds only to frequency, and frequency always exists in the now. At this moment, as you read these words, all possible versions of you exist simultaneously in the quantum field. The version that has already realized all your desires is as present as the version that is still seeking. The only difference is the frequency you are vibrating on now. When you change your frequency, you literally jump from one timeline to another, like changing channels on the quantum TV of reality. Close your eyes and feel yourself merging with the version of you that already has everything you desire. Not in the future, but now. Feel how this version breathes, how it moves, how it thinks. Notice that there is no anxiety, no rush, no desperation. There is only a calm certainty, a deep peace of someone who knows they have already arrived. This is the frequency of fulfillment, available to you now, not at some indefinite future time. Just as ocean waves don't worry about how long they take to reach the shore, your aligned desires flow in the perfect timing of the universe. Sometimes a small wave arrives before a large one. Sometimes several waves merge, creating something spectacular. The ocean doesn't question, it just flows. Like and share if you are ready to transcend the illusion of time, the prison of comparison that distorts your unique frequency. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and felt like you were falling behind? That friend who manifested their dream job, that acquaintance who found the perfect love, that influencer who seems to have discovered the secret to abundance. And then you ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I manifest like them? This constant comparison is one of the biggest saboteurs of your spiritual evolution. Every human being is a unique frequency in the universe, like an energetic fingerprint that never repeats. When you try to vibrate on someone else's frequency, it's like a violin trying to sound like a piano. Not only is it impossible, but in the process, you lose the unique beauty of your own sound. The universe doesn't need copies. It needs your specific note to complete the cosmic symphony. Comparison creates a frequency of inferiority or superiority, both equally toxic to your evolution. When you see yourself as inferior, you emit the vibration of "I am not enough," attracting more evidence of that belief. When you see yourself as superior, you emit the vibration of separation, isolating yourself from the universal connection that is the source of all creative power. In both cases, you become misaligned with your true frequency. Think about how each wave in the ocean is unique, even though they are all made of the same water. Some are tall and dramatic, others soft and subtle. Some reach the shore quickly, others take their time. No wave envies another or tries to be different from what it is. Each perfectly fulfills its role in the eternal movement of the sea. When you deeply accept your unique frequency, the universe conspires to bring experiences that only you can live. Breathe deeply and feel the unique vibration that you are. Place your hand on your chest and feel your particular heart rhythm, different from all other hearts beating on this planet. This rhythm is your energetic signature, your unique contribution to the cosmic dance. When you honor this uniqueness, when you stop trying to be someone else, something magical happens. You become a magnet for everything that is truly yours. The spiritual journey is not a race where someone arrives first and others fall behind. It's more like a dance where everyone has their unique movements that contribute to the beauty of the whole. Your timing is perfect, your rhythm is perfect, your frequency is perfect. The only mistake is trying to be different from what you essentially are. Type unique in the comments if you are ready to embrace your authentic frequency. The hidden power of desires in service of the soul. What if your deepest desires were actually messages from your soul trying to guide you to your maximum evolution? The question has never been about having or not having desires, but about understanding their true nature and purpose. When a desire arises aligned with your essence, it carries a completely different frequency than those born from a wounded ego. Soul desires vibrate on the frequency of love, expansion, contribution. They don't come from lack, but from abundance wanting to express itself through you. When you feel the call to create something beautiful, to serve in some way, to express a unique gift, that is your soul using desire as a compass for your evolution. These desires do not imprison, they liberate. They do not limit, they expand. Think about how a seed naturally desires to become a tree. This desire does not come from a sense of inferiority as a seed, but from a natural impulse to express its full potential. The seed does not suffer for not being a tree yet, does not compare itself to other seeds, does not try to control how it will grow. It simply responds to the internal impulse of expansion, trusting the process. When you learn to distinguish between ego desires and soul desires, your entire relationship with manifestation transforms. Ego desires scream urgency, need, comparison. Soul desires whisper possibility, joy, purpose. The former contract your energy, the latter expand it. The former separate you from the whole, the latter connect you more deeply. Now bring to mind your deepest desire, the one that persists through the years, that always returns no matter how many times you try to ignore it. Feel the quality of that desire. Does it come from a place of fear or love, from scarcity or abundance, from separation or connection? When you identify a true soul desire, you feel an expansion in your chest, a lightness, a calm certainty that needs no external validation. Just as the ocean naturally desires to express itself in waves, tides, currents, your soul desires to express itself through experiences, creations, connections. When you align your personal desires with this greater impulse, you become a channel for the universe to express itself through you. It's no longer you trying to get something from the universe, it's the universe wanting to create something through you. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you feel this call from the soul. The alchemy of acceptance that transmutes limitation into power. Have you ever considered that resistance to your current patterns might be exactly what keeps them in place? When you fight against a desire, judge it as wrong, try to suppress or eliminate it, you are actually feeding it with your energy. It's like trying to put out fire with gasoline. Resistance creates persistence, always. Radical acceptance is one of the most powerful and misunderstood frequencies in the universe. Accepting doesn't mean liking or wanting to keep something. It means recognizing what is without resistance, allowing the energy to flow and transform naturally. When you completely accept a desire without judgment, something fascinating happens. It loses its power over you. Imagine you've been desperately wanting something for years. Instead of continuing on the frequency of need or trying to kill that desire, try something revolutionary. Accept it completely. Tell yourself, I accept that I have this desire. I accept that it is part of my journey. I accept that it is here to teach me something. Feel how instantly the tension decreases, the obsession loosens, the desperation dissolves. Acceptance creates space. Space for understanding, for transformation, for miracles. When you stop spending energy resisting, that same energy becomes available to create. It's like stopping swimming against the current and letting it carry you. Suddenly you realize that the current has always been trying to take you exactly where you wanted to go, but your resistance made the journey unnecessarily difficult. Breathe deeply and practice now. Bring to mind something you have been resisting, some aspect of yourself or your life that you judge as wrong or insufficient. Now, instead of trying to change or eliminate it, simply accept it. Say internally, I accept this as part of my journey. Feel the immediate energetic shift. Acceptance is not defeat. It is the first step of true transformation. Returning to our inner ocean, acceptance is recognizing that every wave, whether stormy or calm, is part of the nature of the sea. The ocean does not reject its storms nor cling to calm days. It simply is, in all its complexity and beauty. When you accept all aspects of yourself, all your desires and fears, you access a power that transcends duality. Comment, I accept, if you are ready for this radical transformation. Now I will share with you a practical 3-step method to transmute the frequency of your desires, elevating them from ego prisons to portals of spiritual evolution. This method combines quantum principles with ancient wisdom, creating a bridge between science and spirituality. First step, identify the root frequency. When a desire arises, before acting on it or resisting it, pause and investigate its vibrational origin. Ask yourself, does this desire come from fear or love? From scarcity or abundance? From separation or union? For example, desiring a relationship can come from the fear of loneliness, which vibrates at a low frequency, or from the desire to share abundant love, which vibrates at a high frequency. The same external form, completely different frequencies. Sit quietly, place your hand on your heart, and allow the answer to arise not from the mind, but from the center of your being. You will know instantly when you are honest with yourself. Second step, conscious vibrational alchemy. Once the root frequency is identified, you have the power to transmute it. If the desire comes from fear, do not reject it. Instead, ask, what is the love behind this fear? There is always love at the root of all fear, even if distorted. Fear of losing someone is love distorted into attachment. Fear of not having money is love for security distorted into anxiety. Find the original love and focus on it. For example, if you desire money out of fear of poverty, transmute it into gratitude for the abundance that already exists and love for the freedom that money represents. Visualize yourself radiating this new frequency as golden waves emanating from your energetic field. Third step, inspired action without attachment. From the new elevated frequency, allow actions to arise naturally, without forcing. These actions will have a different quality. They will be light, joyful, creative. You will not be acting out of desperation, but out of inspiration. And here's the secret. Act with total commitment, but zero attachment to the outcome. Do what needs to be done because it is the natural expression of your new frequency, not because you need a specific result. For example, if you have transmuted the desire for a relationship from lack to abundance of love, you will naturally become more loving, more present, more authentic in your interactions, not to attract someone, but because that is your new natural frequency. And paradoxically, it is precisely when you don't need it that the universe responds most generously. This method is not something you do once, and then you're done. It is a continuous practice of awareness and choice. Each time you apply it, you are literally reprogramming your vibrational matrix, changing the type of reality you magnetize. Over time, this becomes automatic, and you find yourself naturally vibrating at higher frequencies. Feel the change happening in your energetic field right now. Your cells are responding to this new information. Your DNA is being activated into dormant potentials. Your electromagnetic field is reorganizing into more coherent patterns. This is not a metaphor. It is physics happening in real time in your body. Breathe deeply and allow this reconfiguration to complete. The ultimate truth that liberates is this: you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. Your desires are simply invitations for you to become the version of yourself that vibrates at the frequency of what you desire. When you understand this deeply, the whole game changes. It's no longer about getting things, it's about becoming who you truly are. Imagine if instead of chasing desires, you simply became the living frequency of what you desire. Instead of seeking love, you became love. Instead of pursuing abundance, you became abundance. Instead of looking for peace, you became peace. Spiritual masters have always known you don't need to add anything to yourself, just remove the layers of illusion that cover your true nature. Like the ocean that doesn't need to seek water because it is water, you don't need to seek outside what is already your essence. Your deepest desires are reminders of what you forgot you already are. The spiritual journey is not about adding, it's about remembering. It's not about becoming, it's about uncovering, removing the coverings that hide your natural light. At this moment, as these words resonate in your consciousness, something is changing within you. It's not something I'm doing, it's something you are allowing. You are remembering your true nature, your original frequency, your innate power to create reality through consciousness. This awakening is not new. It has always been waiting for the right moment, the right trigger, the permission that only you could give yourself. Place both hands over your heart now. Feel the warmth, the pulsation, the life flowing through you. This is the center of your creative power, not the mind with its desires and fears, but this sacred space where the human meets the divine. From this center, declare silently, I am the living frequency of my highest desires. I do not seek, I am. I do not need, I have. I do not wait, I live. The journey continues, but something fundamental has changed. You are no longer a victim of your desires. You are the conscious conductor of your frequencies. You are no longer trapped on the agitated surface of the waves. You have discovered the serene vastness of the ocean that you are. Desires will continue to arise. It is the nature of the human experience, but now you have the tools, the knowledge, the consciousness to transmute them from prisons into portals. Every desire that arises now is an opportunity for evolution, not evidence of lack. Every yearning is an invitation to expand, not to contract. Every dream is a seed of potential waiting for the fertile soil of your elevated consciousness. You are no longer at war with your desires. You are in a dance with them, a cosmic dance where leading and following become a single movement. The secret that few understand is that when you raise the frequency of your desires, when you align them with your soul instead of your ego, when you act out of inspiration instead of desperation, the universe has no choice but to respond. Not because you are forcing it, but because you have become one with the universal creative flow. You are no longer trying to manipulate reality. You are co-creating with it. Look at your life now with these new eyes. Every situation, every relationship, every challenge is a perfect reflection of your current frequency. Not as punishment or reward, but as neutral feedback from the quantum mirror of consciousness. When you change your frequency, the reflection changes instantly. Not in linear time, but in the eternal now where all creation happens. If there is a burning desire in your heart at this moment, know that it is there for a reason. Do not reject it or cling to it. Dance with it. Investigate its frequency. Transmute what needs to be transmuted. Act when inspired. Let go when necessary. Trust always. This is the path of the conscious master creator, and this is the path you are choosing now. Before we conclude this journey, take one last deep breath. Feel how you are no longer the same person who started watching this video. Something subtle yet profound has changed. A seed has been planted in your consciousness, and even if you return to your daily routines, this seed will continue to germinate, grow, transforming your reality from the inside out. You now know the truth. Your desires are frequencies, and you are the conductor. You have the power to choose which station to tune into. You can continue on the frequency of lack, control, comparison, or you can choose the frequency of wholeness, trust, uniqueness. The choice has always been and always will be yours. If this message resonated with your soul, if you felt the truth vibrate in your cells, leave a sign in the comments. Simply write frequency to anchor this new consciousness. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their power. Subscribe to the channel and activate all notifications to continue receiving these transmissions of expanded consciousness. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. We are all waves of the same infinite ocean, temporarily forgotten of our unity, but always connected in essence. When you raise your frequency, you raise the whole. When you free yourself, you free others. When you become who you truly are, you give permission for others to do the same. The universe is waiting to dance with you at the frequency of your highest self. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, not when circumstances are perfect. Now, in this eternal present moment where all power resides. You are the frequency you were looking for. You always have been.